Hey everyone, this is Neil Napier. I hope you're doing great. I'm just going to put a bit of a note here for you. Let me just put this here so you know as well before we get into it. Okay, that's just so you know. I know that we should be a bit more professional in how we do these sessions, but this is an unofficial session from here on anyway, and family first, always. So here's what I wanted to do. I have been meaning to build my own email survey funnel, and what I wanted to do was give you a walkthrough of how I do it while I do it, so that you get some ideas of how to do that as well, if that is, of course, you were interested in it. Let me just clear my screen a little bit and then we'll get started. Okay, I also want to make sure that you can see everything important that I need you to see. Okay, I think I'll move this. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be talking about email survey funnel today, and of course if you're watching this later, that's fine as well. This is for you to kind of watch and ask questions. So one of the key things that is important for you when you're building out customer journey is to understand exactly what your customers want, right? This is very, very crucial. So if you build out a customer journey and let's say if you have 1,000 people and you're sending the same email to everyone, to 1,000 people, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have 200 people that believe in one thing. You're going to have 400 people that believe in another. You're going to have 300 people that believe in another and 100 that believe in something else. Let me give you a very simple example here, and I'm going to use religion for a second. Let's say you have a list of 1,000 people and you send them all an email saying Merry Christmas, and you might piss off 600 people because they'll say, oh, but I don't celebrate Christmas. You should say Happy Holidays instead. Imagine wishing everyone Happy Eid. You may piss off another 800 people saying, oh, we don't celebrate Eid. Imagine sending Happy Diwali or Happy Holi for Indians, and you may piss off 700 people who are like, hey, this is not my festival, blah, blah, whatever. So the point here is that it's better, depending on your business type, of course, to segment your audience. It is more work, I will fully admit, but the results are exponentially better. And the good thing is that you can, of course, deliver this to your clients as well. And the way I'll show you, it's quite easy to execute, and you can execute it for them, for yourself as well. And again, we are starting to execute it for us. So I wanted to show you how I'm setting it up. So the point is that religion is one thing. You could have other differentiations. For example, in my business, it's all, internet marketing, digital marketing, whatever. There might be 200 people that are interested in affiliate marketing. Great. There might be 400 people that are interested in product creation. Great. There might be 300 people that are interested in, say, e-com. And out of 100, there might be people that have, none of these interests, whatever. They haven't indicated what their interests are. Or let's say in this case, they're more interested in list building because, of course, they joined Melvio. Now, it is also possible that some of these people have multiple interests, and that's okay. So it is possible that there are 100 people out of this subset. So let me draw what is called a Venn diagram. So it is possible that, okay, all these people like affiliate marketing, all these people like product creation, and all these people like list building. But it is possible that there's 50 people in here that like both list building and product creation, right? There's another 25 people in here that like affiliate marketing and list building. Okay, so continuing here, what I want you to understand is that these buckets are fluid. Just because someone belongs in this bucket doesn't mean that, number one, they couldn't belong in any other, or that they couldn't change. Interests change over time, expectations change over time. And of course, creating exclusivity or non-exclusivity is up to you. If you want to create location-based buckets, for example, if someone's from Detroit or Michigan, that's exclusive. But if it's interest-based thing, then one person can have multiple interests. That's the awesome thing about being human, right? So let's talk about how to set up these buckets, both on paper and then inside of Melvio. So I'm going to use my example, and I'll construct this live. I haven't thought about this at all before recording this, so it is really being done live right now as we speak. So let me just move this. Okay. All right, so let's look at what a bucket would look like in this case. What things will we create? What segmentation will we create in this case? So as you know, my core business is digital marketing. It's internet marketing. That's what we do. And what I want to do then is, based on people's interests, I want to create different buckets, right? So I could create buckets based on their interests. So what kind of emails they click on, what kind of products they buy. Number one. That's one potential segmentation. Another segmentation is the email type that gets them to take action. Is it, or rather the call to action, right? So is it emotional? Is it logical? Or is it fear-based, like it's urgency? Right? And this is useful to know as well, because, hey, let's say if you came across people who only click and buy on the last day, then you can send them an email on the first day and then on the last day and nothing in between, because you know that they are more, they take action when there's urgency. Whereas people who tend to click on links, when you show them the benefits emotionally, they go for that. But if you come in and state numbers, like, hey, look how big the industry is, they go for the logic. So I can definitely break it down based on interest, and I can also break it down based on emotional, logic, and urgency. So 3 different criteria from there as well. Then the third potential way, and the potential is we don't have to do all of these, we have to do at least one, but the third potential way in this case that I could segment people by is based on how much money they make. Now that's a harder one, because you can't really ever get people to tell you how much money they're making. They might lie, they might feel embarrassed and not answer at all. So to me, this is not a great question to ask. Instead, you could think about segmenting people based on how much money they spend. Now that's a little bit harder, and I wouldn't go into that yet, because it requires a lot more technical effort on your part if you are to code that into Melvio. But I find that's a really good strategy as well if you want to segment people based on who's buying, who's not buying, and so on and so forth. I mean, that ties into lead scoring, right? So we have 2 possible options here. We have interests and whether people tend to click on call to actions that are emotional in nature, logical in nature, or urgency based. So with that in mind, I'm going to just move this aside here, and I'm going to start creating my buckets. So I actually like both of these, and the second one's quite easy to create, but harder to fill up every time you mail, but I'll create both. So let's write down interests. And then I'll create buckets in this, and then there's also emotional, logic, urgency, or fear-based, and this is quite easy. The 3 buckets would be emotional, logic, and urgency, right? Pretty straightforward. But when it comes to interest, I need to actually go back now in my campaigns and see what kind of campaigns do I actually send, like what products have I recommended in past. And depending on who's watching this, you may not have received these campaigns, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. And just FYI, my team is the one that handles most of our promotions. So I actually, most of the time, don't know what we're promoting unless it's something of ours or something really big, but just FYI. That's because I want to focus my efforts on giving you this kind of training. So let's say if I look at this one, this is about affiliate marketing, right? So one interest type, of course, that comes from this is affiliate marketing. Pretty easy. So I think we can both agree that people that tend to click on these emails are interested in affiliate marketing, right? That's recurring profits. Let's go to Clipman. Clipman is mostly, I would say, video marketing focused. Video marketing. So I'm just going to, there are other parts of it as well, like sales and stuff in there, but they are video marketing focused. I'm going to leave it at that. And again, if I can take those people, I can put them in a different bucket, more focused on video marketing. Trezol, I have to check. UStudio was video marketing as well. Again, but it was also YouTube, right? So there's video marketing, and there's also YouTube. So it's a subset, but it doesn't hurt to create a subset, because you can sort of, have a much narrower audience if you choose to, right? Let's go for this one. That's Trezor. Yeah, this is affiliate marketing as well. And then let's go further. CJ, this is customer journey agency. Trezor, U Studio. Let's go further. Then we have Google Drive Unlimited. This was a storage offer. Okay, this was interesting, right? So this was a storage offer, but this was more of a look how much money you can save. So the people who usually would get this email are more money savvy people, right? So that's an interest. It's not affiliate marketing, it's not video marketing, but it's a way to get their attention. Like, hey, do you want to save money? That's how I would approach it. Social Flux, I think, I'll check which one was that. I think it was this is SEO. So there's obviously SEO. Social Flux, let's open that as well. Okay, so I'm going to put down SEO. Now, Ryan Levesque says that you should really only have 20, you should have like maximum 5 buckets. I do agree with him. I think it's good to limit yourself to 5 or 7, but let's go with 5, and we'll try and restrict ourselves to that as well. I'll pause the video and I'll bring you back once I have some more buckets and I can kind of give you a walkthrough. All right, so it took me a little bit of time, but I think I have the 5 buckets. Now, mind you, they're not really mutually exclusive. And like I told you earlier, we don't need them to be mutually exclusive. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to list out the 5 buckets. And of course, you can tell me what you think about it. So one of the buckets is, let me use text. I'm going to start with sort of foundational. So funnels, websites, hosting, storage, email marketing. I'm going to just reduce the font size on this. Let's go a bit smaller. Now, email marketing, questionably, should it be there? Should it be part of foundational? I don't know, but I'll list them out and then we can change them up after. Then there's video marketing. Of course, any YouTube video creation easily falls into that. Then we have make money online. So all opportunity things go into that. Affiliate marketing, and I would argue even product creation goes into that, because at the end of the day, if I want to sell product creation, one of the easier ways to sell it is like, how can you make money online using product creation? Then a different one, and this is still questionable for me, but this one is marketing mechanism. And this is people that look for tools like messenger marketing, webinars, like Napier. Those people are interested in a mechanism they can use to sell. Okay, then you've got traffic generation. So this could be SEO, content marketing, Facebook ads, things like that. Now, I have limited myself to 5. Like I said, email marketing is a little bit one of those, I'm not sure where it should fit in, but the way I look at messenger marketing, I guess messenger marketing, email marketing are sort of in the same boat. So I'm going to put email marketing here. Let's say, okay, instead of calling it marketing mechanism, let's say communication tools. That's better. Email marketing, messenger marketing, and webinars can go here as well. And of course, webinars can also go in foundation, but I'll leave it here because this is something people can use to communicate with their audience. Let me move this a little bit. So these are my buckets. I mean, is it perfect? I don't know, but I'm happy with it, right? I think I'm okay with that. The other 3 buckets are these: emotional, logical, and urgency based. So I'm going to go with that. Let me delete some of this stuff so it's not confusing you anymore, or me. Okay, so we're going to go with these 5 buckets plus these 3 buckets. So we're going to have 8 buckets. And remember, people can belong to more than one. at a time. So what we're going to do is now we're going to go back to Mailview and we're going to set up our attributes with that. Now understand that I'm going to have to show my team as well how to do all of this, because as in I'll have to show them what we're doing here because they don't know yet. But let's say if I go for settings within Mailview under campaigns, I think it's under contacts actually, or is it here? Yep, contacts. I'll pause for a second because my email list will be exposed. Okay, so we have under contact settings, we'll go to configure for contact attributes in CRM. As you can see, you have already got a few here, that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add new ones. So I'm going to put a differentiator so I know later. Let's say bucket foundational. So bucket foundational is this, and let's just call it foundation instead. Basically anything that is the building blocks of a business. And I don't need this to be text, I need this to be Boolean actually, 0 or 1, yes or no. Is this person interested in foundational tools, yes or no? Simple question, right? I'm gonna go with this, let's say okay, bucket foundation is done, and I'm going to set up all of them, then I'll bring you back. Okay, so we are done, and I have set up all of these starting from foundation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3, 4 emotion, logic, and urgency. Yikes! I set them up as text. Crap. I am gonna delete them, and I'll come back and fix them. Let me just see. We don't need them, and we don't need this one. Okay, let's try again. There we go, that's correct. Bucket urgency and Boolean and okay. So that is perfectly fine. I think this is something that we can run with. And what I will then do is I will say this part is done. We have set up the buckets within our system based on the criteria that I did use for myself, and you can do this for yourself, you can do it for other people as well as a service. That's perfectly fine. Then what I want to do is I want to set up attributes for previous customers. If you remember, we have a ton of campaigns that we have sent out in past, but we haven't actually set up attributes for these people, right? So if I go into this one, I'm going to click on report, and you will see that there are 33 people that have clicked. Right, I think it might show me the list. Let me just see. Okay, I'm gonna have to hide some details later on, but you can see all these people are people that have clicked, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to now set up the attributes. If I scroll here further, you can see that they have different buckets, but none of them are set at the moment. All of them are 0 basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill those, and let me bring you back when I switch screens. Okay, so we are in automation, and now we're going to set up an automation for previous campaigns that we have sent to put people in a bucket based on that. Let's go ahead and create a workflow. And remember, these people have already been through a particular campaign. So I'm going to call this one, let's say Clipman, because that's the one we're going to run. Clipman, click as bucket. Let's go for done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up entry points. Now, I can't set up an entry point to say if someone has clicked on a link inside an email, because the action has already happened. Remember, automation runs from now into the future, right? So what I need to do is I need to pick a different attribute that is time-based. So is it contact details, anniversary? No. Contact attribute condition changes? No. A contact is added to a list? No. Well, yeah, that would work for the next people, but remember, that's not how we're segmenting people anyway. Contact filter condition? No. A contact submits a form. Now, no, this is not it either. I'm going to go back into contact details, and I'm actually going to pick contact filter conditions, because here's what I can do. Within your contact search bar here, let's go back here for a second. Within your contact search you can actually look for email clickers, for example, for Clipman, and actually this will make it really easy for you. So let's say if I find clickers for Clipman AI pre, any link, right? Add or condition, this is important. Email clickers, so I want not readers, I want email clickers. For select the campaign, and again I want to choose the next campaign for Clipman live, which is add another or condition. Email clickers, select the campaign. Sorry, I want this to be Clipman AI Day 2, add or condition. I want this to be email clickers, select campaign, Clipman AI Day 3, add an or condition, email clickers, select the campaign, Clipman AI final openers close. Okay, those are all the Clipman emails. Let's just search, and you will see this number goes up to 240. So that's awesome. There are 240 people already I can put in the video bucket. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save the filter, and I'll call this Clipman video clickers. That's done. Click on add. Great. Let's go back to marketing automation, and I'm going to refresh this list. And there you go, Clipman video clickers. When to check? I'm going to check in the future in a few minutes, so that I'm able to collect details from when I set it up. Let me just still change the time. Okay, then if this condition is met, then let's update contact attribute, and the contact attribute is going to be bucket video marketing. I want this to be set as yes. So if someone has clicked, I want them to be set as yes. Let's activate the workflow, and we'll come back and check in a few minutes, see if the attributes have indeed been updated with the figure yes. And this is good because next time I'm promoting a video product, I don't need to email my entire list. I can email just these 240 people. Number one, it's going to get amazing opens, going to get great clicks, but most importantly, I'm not going to annoy all the customers who don't want to hear about video marketing, right? This is why creating buckets, creating segments of your audience is really good. But this is how you set up attributes for customers that have taken action in the past, right? Customers that have taken action in the past. And what I'll do then is I'll show you next how to set up these attributes for the new campaigns that you're running. But I'm not going to set up a new campaign. I'm going to use an old campaign as an example, but you can see how to set that up within Melvio as well. So we're going to look at that now, and I'll come back and check out these results in just a few minutes. Okay, again, just so you know, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to set up buckets for people from previous campaigns. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set up a new automation. This is a manual process, unfortunately, there's no way around it, but it is something that will be really beneficial for you if you do it. So I'm going to use the create workflow option over here, and I'm going to go ahead and create a custom workflow. And what I'll call this, let's say Clipman bucket setup. Now, in the future, as I'll show you, it's better if you do this in real time, but we can't actually go back and fix it, so we're going to do this now. So let's see, Clipman bucket setup, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to set an entry point, and we're going to say based on email activity. So based on the email that we send to them, based on a particular email that we're looking for right now, which is, let me find it, starting from the beginning, but let's go for Clipman AI pre, and sorry, not open, what am I doing? We don't care about opens at the moment, we want to see if they clicked, right? Because that's when they're interested in. If they clicked on any of the link in this campaign, right? Any of the link, say OK. Then I'm going to add multiple points here. So let's go back to email activity. In email activity, let me get rid of this, sorry about that. I thought it was going to be blue screen of death. But if in email activity they clicked on Clipman AI Live, or, now these are or conditions, or if they clicked on Clipman AI Day 2, or if they clicked on the link inside the email. Clipman AI Day 3, or if they clicked on, you can see it's a bit of a long process, and this is what your clients are paying you for. They're never going to do it if you were to charge them to do it, but you could outsource this to someone, and I'm going to, once this video is done, give it to my team to run, but you can give it to others as well. Clipman AI final openers close, so the 5 emails, that's fine. So if they have clicked on any of these email campaigns, then in that case, let's update contact attribute and let's put their video marketing to the value yes. All right, so let's put the video marketing to the value yes, okay. And let's go to activate the workflow. And let's go back to workflows. Now this is in retrospect, right? This is where I want things to happen if they have taken an action. Okay, so enough time has passed, and check out this one. As predicted, 240 people contacts have been updated, I hope, and we're gonna go check it out. So let's go back, and this is our list. I'm going to just refresh this again. Again, brings back 240 people. I'm gonna just pick some at random. So let's go through this, and let's go through and check this out. Everyone in this list has bucket video marketing set to yes. Now that's fantastic, because now if I want to target people who are into video marketing, I can target these people. So I hope this training was helpful, and I'd love to know what you thought about this. Like I said, it is a bit of a manual process. You have to do a lot of things, but if you start doing it every day, if you start setting it up for every campaign, it'll literally take you 5 minutes to do, and the result that you will get eventually would be fantastic. So for me, for example, once I hit 1,000 leads for a particular bucket, I'm going to really start being very specific with the emails that I send for that kind of niche, and I won't target anyone else. And the good thing is, if I'm promoting and selling a product like Melvio, it's obviously going to fit into the attribute that we talked about earlier, which was either the communication or the foundation. I think communication is a good one. So anyone who buys Melvio automatically also get tagged as a communication into the communication bucket, and that way, if I have a messenger marketing or email marketing or a webinar tool coming out which is used to communicate with your audience and sell, then that's the segment that I will target. So I hope this was useful. It'll be great to get your feedback and see what you think. Thanks.